What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Opinionated Off Topic, capping off a crazy weekend. We got our last guest, final guest, but it's been a grind. We're thankful for everybody that's been on the podcast. It's been super fun. We got Carlos Mojica, co-hosting, co-owner of Opinionated Media. We also got CJ, co-owner of Opinionated Media. And we're about to sit down with Difference. Friends, family, call him Hunter. But we're going to sit down with him, chop it up, talk about his music career, his journey, who he is today, and just kind of what got him into doing what he's doing. So,
again, thank you for taking the time out your day, especially this late. Like I said, you didn't have to do that at all, so we appreciate it. It means a lot. So thank you for doing that.
I appreciate y'all staying up too for me.
Of course,
bro.
We're gonna be up regardless. So
Yeah.
we didn't mind at all.
I feel you.
But just give us a little backstory, where you came from, how you started, how you got to what you're doing now, all that good stuff.
Yeah, so I'm from Seminole, Texas. It's like a small farm town, oil field town. Not much going on, not many people making music. It's just a lot of, basic things that goes on in a small town.
Blue collar.
Yeah, I didn't grow up seeing like anyone make music. There wasn't anyone to look up to in that space. I wasn't even really considering music at that time. And anyways, just played sports, ended up going to Tech, Texas Tech in Lubbock. So shout out to Lubbock. And got hurt there. And when I got hurt there is when I kind of started making music and when all this journey started. So
Growing up, you played sports?
Yeah.
Growing up over there?
Yeah.
And then at Tech, what'd you play?
Football.
Football?
Yeah, I was tight end.
What was that transition like from being at your small little town, and then Lubbock's still a smaller town, like for us at least, but like it's bigger for you, and then like it's a big ass college and it's nothing but like partying. So what was that like transition like for you?
Well, the transition was, I would say, somewhat smooth because I had friends that had already left my hometown and went to Tech. They were like a couple years older than me. So I was going up there when I was 17, 18 years old. Like, I already knew what was going down at Tech. You know what I'm saying? So whenever I did go to Tech, it was kind of like, it was a big transition, but Lubbock's not like too big to where it's like overwhelming.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like still small town to a lot of people. Not a lot of traffic. Like everyone's just on the same page, partying, going to the Texas Tech games, whatever sports going on at the time. So it was a fun transition. It wasn't too big of a transition to where like I was ever overwhelmed or anything. You know what I mean? I enjoyed it.
Yeah. What years were you supposed to play there, and what year did you like get hurt?
So let's think here. I graduated in 2013. So basically, right after I graduated, like 2 days later, I went straight to Tech, moved into the dorms, and started like like summer practice, all that stuff, training camp, like for the whole summer. Yeah. So I like walked the stage in Seminole, and then boom, packed up my stuff, hit the road, went to Lubbock, and so I don't remember what the question was, to be honest.
What years were you supposed to play at Tech, and when did you get hurt?
Yeah. Okay, that's why I was talking about this. All right, so in 2013, I went there and played until 15. So I played like a year and a half, something like that, and had a spine injury, had to stop playing. And that was kind of the end of that. But then I went to Tech until 2018.
2018?
Yeah.
13 is when Baker was there?
Yeah. Yeah, so Baker Mayfield was one of my good friends, and we lived together in Murray Hall at Texas Tech. And we all came in super fresh, 18 years old, didn't know what to expect. And, I got room with Baker and then a couple of my other guys that turned into buddies after a while. And it was a pretty crazy experience for sure. Baker left right before I had to stop playing, I think. I don't remember the whole details on that, but that was pretty cool.
Baker was a preferred walk on at Tech as
He
well,
was.
right?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Baker was a preferred walk-on as well. And he was there to – one thing about Baker Mayfield is Baker Mayfield will do anything it takes to progress. You know what I'm saying? So, like, it don't matter if he's an underdog, you know, at any school. He is going to get there as an underdog, and he's going to take over. That's just, like, how he is. I don't know. He's just real determined. But
What was it like rooming with him?
it was awesome, really. I mean, so Baker is an awesome guy, right? Lots of fun. Like, he would go out sometimes, whatever. But, like, majority of the time, because I'm someone that likes to have fun a lot. So, like, if someone's going out, I'm going out, right?
Yeah.
And if no one's going out, I'm trying to get them to go out. So it's like, I would go in there all the time. Like, one of the clearest things I remember from Baker is, like, I would go in his room. All of us would be going out. Yo, Bake, you trying to go out? No, I'm good. I'm studying the plays. And I'm, like, 18 years old, right?
Yeah.
First year at Tech, and I'm, like, studying the plays, bro. I'm like, we're in college. Like, let's have some fun. You know what I'm saying? But at that time, I didn't realize till years later that, like, every night that we would go out, he would stay up the same amount of time, like till 2 a.m., but just sitting in his room with the books of plays, just going over that shit nonstop. And I was like, what is going on? You know what I'm saying? Because I wasn't used to someone like that. And like 3-4 weeks into training or whatever, we get closer to the season, and we're all like preferred walk-ons, and like Baker's a preferred walk-on, but like he's already bumped up to second string, like in practice and shit. And then right before the season starts, he's like dominating in practice, better than all the other quarterbacks. Like, I still love the other quarterbacks. They were my friends, but he just took over immediately and like won the starting spot. First game going into the year, walk-on freshman, no scholarship, starting in the game. All of us walk-ons are in the background just like, let's go. You know what I'm saying? So it's pretty cool.
I think a lot has to do with that is probably the high school he went to.
Yeah,
they
could.
run a strict camp over there, from what I've heard.
Yeah.
And I don't know anything about that high school.
Yeah, Lake Travis. Yeah, my brother went there and played with guys like Garrett Wilson, who's on the Jets, and you know, just a lot of D1 cats over there, and it's just ran like a college, like very strict. All the quarterbacks too, Lake Travis, Westlake, like both those schools. Like, if you play quarterback at that school, you're gonna go play somewhere just because of how you're prepared, and just like the steep competition all the way up from like age 7 to 18 when you graduate high school. So that like he said, that definitely probably played a huge factor. And then obviously too, he's just always had that. He's just some people just have some kind of dog to them.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
man,
And
he
like
does.
there's something that's why who he is and why he won a Heisman, just because of like all that stuff goes a long way.
100%.
I mean, he's always, even at Tech, he's just always been someone who's had a chip on his shoulder.
Yeah.
He's always had something to prove, and is always there to prove you wrong.
Yep.
I mean, because even when he went to Oklahoma, like, that was the same thing.
Yeah,
like, he was just always, he went to go prove people wrong.
And he transferred there after Trevor Knight just beat Alabama. So like, you have this Trevor Knight there, and he's still going there like, I'm gonna go take his job.
Yeah,
Crazy.
For real.
Yeah.
That's dope, though. That's dope that you got to.
He's an awesome guy. One thing I'll say, just, you know, to clear it up, a lot of people have feelings about Baker. Like, maybe not us, but like a lot of people think like he's cocky or he's this or that, or he mouths off to people or whatever. He is a good ass guy. He's just very, very passionate. And you know, whenever you're passionate, it's like, if you're passionate, willing to die for something, and someone tries to, you know, take it or, you know, give you hell about it or whatever, you're going to snap on them. You know what I'm saying? So he definitely snaps sometimes, but he's a really, really good guy, solid guy.
That's nice. I mean, a lot of people just refer to the Kansas game, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like, if you've been on that field, bro, you understand. Like, it's just part of it.
Yeah.
Like
shit is heated.
Like I never really understood that, because I don't know, bro. If you play sports, and that's any sports, like, you just talk shit, bro. That's how it is.
I mean, I think for other people, it's just like, you're doing this to Kansas, like.
Yeah.
Bro, they were chirping them though. Like, you gotta think about it. At the beginning of the game, he puts out his hand and shake their hand. They don't even shake his hand. Obviously, you're going to play the game with some kind of feel.
Yeah,
Regardless, it doesn't
for
matter who
real.
it is. Like, you can't take anybody lightly. Like,
Yeah.
it's just like, I don't know, you're going to. I mean, I understood why he responded that way because you're just like, man, you didn't even shake my hand. Like, all right, bet.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know.
Yeah, they set themselves up for
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Was that? No, that wasn't that game. I was gonna say that wasn't the game. Samaje went crazy, right?
No, that was the year before.
That was the year before.
Yeah, Oklahoma. That was a year like when Trevor Knight was the starter and Baker had just transferred there and he had to sit out because that was before you had. That was before you could transfer. You can't now.
Transfer year
You'd have
and
to
all
sit
that.
out and shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, enough about Baker. Give back to you. So you get hurt. Do you have to have surgery or anything?
No.
No. So you get hurt. Have to stop playing football.
Yeah.
And during that time, like, how did music come about? How did you find music, or has music always even been like? Was that a thing growing up? that you always
Yeah.
wanted to
Music's
do?
always been a thing for me, just not in a way of I take it serious. You know, like whenever I'm like younger days, like I was always the only one that was like freestyling nonstop, trying to record songs that change the lyrics on my phone, you know what I'm saying? And like everyone just looked at it as, oh, this is fun, you know, we're in a small town messing around, like nothing serious. And when I got hurt, and I know a lot of athletes go through this too, whenever you put your whole life, this goes for anything in life, like the way I think, is like if you put all of your emotions, all of your faith, all of your everything into one thing, and like obviously that was football at the time for me, it's like if you put every emotional, like ounce of emotional shit into that one thing, it's really, really dangerous, like mentally, because if it's taken from you, you're now completely lost or you feel lost. You know what I'm saying? And I struggled for probably a full year and a half, where when I got hurt and was told I couldn't play anymore, I didn't know how to react. I didn't know, what my purpose was, because I thought that was my purpose. And I spent like a year and a half just lost, bro. Just partying a lot. I was never like a bad guy, like doing crazy stuff, but I definitely was like life of the party, like always drinking as many beers as I could, you know what I'm saying? Like, why not?
Yeah.
And it's like after a while, I was laying in bed, and I just remember thinking to myself, I was with my ex-girlfriend at the time, and I'm kind of like you. I have a hard time falling asleep, right? So I'm always the one that's like, boom, she'll fall asleep, and then here I am just in bed, like thinking about everything in my life, right? And I remember laying there thinking like, all right, I'm very spiritual and I have a strong faith in God. And like I was praying that night, like, God, I don't know what I'm doing right now and I feel myself lost. So like I started thinking about like, what am I good at besides sports, right? Because that shit is over. And I was like, shit, I freestyle every night, you know what I'm saying? I freestyle in the locker room every day, like at Tech with all the players, all of us just cutting up the whole time. So I was like, I'm good at music. Maybe that's my way to like inspire the world, because like everything I do, I want to inspire other people to try and like chase their vision whenever it seems like no one else really understands their vision. You know what I'm saying? So I woke up that next morning, rolled over and told my ex, yo, I'm becoming an artist. What? I'm becoming an artist. I'm finna start, instead of freestyling, I'm gonna get a mic and I'm gonna record on the mic and write the song to the beat and I'm gonna make a song. She's like, all right, shit. Everyone's like, all right, cool, whatever. And I wake up, I drive to Guitar Center. I was doing all type of stuff to make money back then. Like I'm a hustler, so I was like buying all type of shoes, stripping them down, repainting them. I had all the, I was like a shoe customizer and like a shoe flipper.
Okay.
Right? So I was doing that. So I was like, all right, sweet. Here's $300. Boom. Go to Guitar Center that morning, buy a mic, 2 speakers, and some shitty interface, right? Sit down, write a whole ass song that day, and by the end of the day, I like got all the guys at the house like, yo, I'm making music. this is my song. Check this shit out. Boom.
Nice.
They're like, damn, bro, it's a whole song. And it wasn't the best song ever, obviously, but like we had friends that had been making music for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And they were all like, bro, you know, everyone's like to the side, like, yo, this is better than, you know, some of their stuff. They've been doing this like 6 years, you know what I'm saying? And it just showed me, I was like, all right, well, shit, maybe this is what I'm supposed to do. And started making music like that day. And I stayed, you can ask anyone that knows me, I stayed in a 3 foot by 3 foot closet that my big ass barely fit in. Took all my clothes that morning, my boys are in the house. What are you doing, bro? Like, take all my clothes out of my closet, take them to the back room, put them in the extra closet, and put a little desk in there, set up. And for like 2.5 years, I just stayed in that closet, making music nonstop. And that's kind of like where it started, was in that closet, hot as hell.
Yeah, I mean,
Small as hell.
That was you experiencing that Baker Mayfield of him studying the playbook.
Exactly.
And like, then that's when you understood, like, now I see why he studied this playbook.
Yeah. I have the same exact mentality as Baker. It's just I had to, you know, switch lanes like super fast.
Yeah.
I piggybacking off that, I wanted to talk about like on other podcasts, but there has to be something for like some kind of program or something for like life after whatever sport you're playing.
Yeah,
because there's even if you go far or not, even for some high schoolers, like there's just that there's something missing for you at that point. Like you get depressed because it's like,
yeah,
I don't know what I want to do, because like all you growing up is like, I want to play football, I want to play baseball, I want to go do this, I want to go do that, and you're in college, you're like, oh, I want to make it to the NFL, and it's like, now it's taken away from me, and it's like, what now? Yeah. And a lot of those athletes have that what now? What am I going to do? Like, all I've ever known was football.
And
like,
a lot of them get lost for the rest of their life.
Yep. Like
on some serious, like,
the
50 years down the
guy
road.
we just had on, that's how he was. He was like, football. Football's over him. Mm-hmm. The thing that he does was, I'm going to be a coach. He was like, I don't know anything about the corporate, bro. Like, I don't know, like basically, like, what's a resume? Like, I don't know what the hell to do.
Yeah.
He was like, so I'm just sticking with football and coaching football, because that's all I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if that's what he loves, then
and he does. I think there has to be, somebody has to make some kind of program or something, because it's not easy.
Yeah, it's not easy. And yeah, it'd be cool to have a program like for after, for sure. I feel like there should be something during. During too.
I
think that young people need to be educated on, and obviously they can look on YouTube and look online, like, for different things of, like, you know, motivation and all that stuff. But people need to realize that they always need to have their emotional sides in different baskets. You know what I'm saying? Even if you're the best football player in the world, that is going to go to the, like Patrick Mahomes, that's going to go to the NFL, and that's going to, you know, do the best no matter what. Even those people need to have other parts of their life that they're like 30% invested in. You know what I'm saying? Because 100% investing in anything, even like you want to talk like relationships, like for girls or guys, it's like, if you invest 100%, and obviously you want to invest all your love and time and energy into your girl, right? But it's like, you don't want to be overboard to the point where, you know, you hear a lot of people get broke up with and they're like, shit, my world's ending, I don't want to be on earth no more, blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, because you can't get overly invested into one thing, because one thing can always disappear. Mm-hmm. It don't matter if it's a person, a career, you know, a label that you're signed to, anything can be taken at any moment. So if you have all your shit invested in that one thing, you're setting yourself up for failure. That's how I see it. You got to have like a spread out things you care about. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That makes a lot of sense.
Absolutely. Yeah. So you're in the closet, and at this point, you're going from freestyling to like actually making a complete song.
Yeah.
How was it for you, like switching from freestyling to like, now I gotta write lyrics?
It wasn't that hard for me. I really actually enjoyed it more because I'm someone that cares. I'm not like a mumble rapper, you know what I'm saying? I'm not against any of that. I think everyone makes the music they want to make, and whatever whatever goes and sells, right? So I don't care what anyone does. But like me, I'm not a mumble rapper. I care about like the things I say. I don't I don't cuss a lot. I don't talk about drugs. I don't talk about anything that's just like I feel like would pollute other people. I don't talk about it. So I was excited to go because whenever you're freestyling, it's whatever your mind comes up with.
Yep.
So it's immediately a bunch of bad shit.
Bro, yeah,
Yep.
for sure.
You know what I'm saying? You're in the
Drugs,
you're in the
drinking,
garage.
Girls partying.
Yeah,
It's just
you're
like,
at
what's
Chimmy's
easy.
until it's like you go to Chimmy's until 12:30, and then you go to Mesquite's at that time until 2 a.m. And then I'm inviting everyone in the whole club of Mesquite's to my garage because every night we're getting super faded, and I'm freestyling against anyone that wants to walk in the room. And we would do it every night, bro. Like I'm talking, people all over always are like, I met you one night in your garage. You were nuts, bro. Freestyling, all that stuff. I'm like, dang, bro. Glad you were there.
Yeah, appreciate it.
But I don't remember anything because it was during that lost point where I was real faded. And it was like the funnest times ever. But I enjoyed the freestyling, but a lot of vulgar, dumb shit comes out of your mouth whenever you're just trying to impress the people in the room and talk smack to whoever's wearing whatever, you know what I'm saying? And so when I started writing, it was like real refreshing for me. Because it's like I could mumble, like the way I make songs is I find a beat or we'll build a beat, and then I'll mumble on it from start to finish for like 5 takes. And then I'll find the parts that I like, and then I'll put them where I need to, and then I'll write to them. And it was real fun and refreshing to me to like be able to freestyle and get the cadences and the melodies and getting it sounding good. And then, so I like got to do the freestyle, but then I'd also go pen it and write everything down and fit every syllable of the freestyle to my own lyrics. And I really, really enjoyed that process a lot. I like writing, to be honest.
Did you before?
Are we rolling?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Before like even going to Guitar Center getting the equipment, did you even know how to like put anything together?
Gosh,
what
bro.
software? Like, did you even like know that you needed a software to like do that? Because
Bro,
like you buy the speakers.
Know anything? I'm talking about nothing. Like I'm talking about. I woke up the next morning. I'm gonna be a musician, right? I'm gonna be an artist. What do I need to do? Shit, I don't know. Google it. All you have to do is Google it. What do I need to record? Boom, shows me a mic, $100. Boom, shows me the speakers, $200, whatever. I'm like, all right, shit, the internet says I need this. So I'm going to go to Guitar Center. I'm going to show them this article. It says I need this, this, and this. All right, cool. Boom, they get it. I go home. I sit there. What do I do with this equipment? So then I get on YouTube. How do you run an Apollo interface? That's like the basic, like everyone has the Apollo.
That's
Apollo
the
and the
Or no.
Scarlet.
The Scarlet.
The Scarlet, yeah.
The Apollo
is
super
the real
upgrade.
deal. Yeah, that's the real
so
deal.
I just
Yeah.
upgraded to all that.
Yeah.
That's a long story of how I got to there. But like that was the
Scarlet.
the Scarlet. So I'm watching videos, all this stuff, and I just learned how to do it really. I don't know. I tell people all the time, like, anything's possible and you can do it with the internet. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to have anyone. I didn't have anyone in my family, anyone in my circle that made music. So none of us knew shit. And I was like, yo, we could learn this. And it took us like 45 minutes. And then I just started recording on the mic. Like we didn't even have good presets or vocal chains, nothing. It was just like raw.
Well, what software did you use?
Logic.
You used Logic?
I got Logic, and I've used, well, I mean, I probably started on GarageBand,
Okay.
to be honest. But Logic was like within the first 2 weeks of trying to make music, I was like, I need something better than GarageBand. I can't put any plugins on here.
I'm still trying to wrap my head around that you made that in a day. Like, not knowing anything, and you made a song in a day.
Bro, I'm telling you.
Like,
I went to
how do you
bed
even
by
know how
my
to like make a
girlfriend,
beat or like?
said a prayer. What do I do? Music hit me. I told her the next morning I'm making music. Go to Guitar Center, buy the shit, come home, figure it out, make a whole song one day. And then after that, every day I'd make 1-2 songs for like
That's
years.
insane. And that like in a day, most people are like, who would you start out try to write a song in a day or a verse in the day or You didn't make the damn beat in the day. You made the whole damn thing in the
Yeah,
day.
whole everything.
What the hell are you doing?
Yeah. I went from never even thinking I'd be an artist to like a serious artist like the next day. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Anything I do, I'm not gonna half-ass it. So like, I woke up like I don't know what to do, but I'm about to find out what to do.
That's crazy.
Went to Google and then went to work.
Yeah.
It was pretty cool.
Is there any artists that you draw inspiration from?
Yeah, there is. Inspiration, not in a way of like, I like Wiz Khalifa, so I try and make my music like Wiz Khalifa.
Yeah.
But I would say that my biggest influence is on me early. And some of these people will not know, but shout out to these people because they changed my life. Obviously, everyone knows Wiz Khalifa. For some reason, I was in a stage in life. I won't mention the stage, but Wiz Khalifa was extremely, extremely popping for that type of face. For sure. So like, I start listening to Wiz laying on the bed, just like, what are these sounds? What are these things going on, bro? You know? And I'm like, at that point, I'm like, dang, I could do this. And this is like when I'm still playing like sport, or no, I was hurt at the time. So he inspired me heavily to think about making music. So he's the one that kind of nudged me. And then Skizzy Mars, did any of y'all know Skizzy Mars?
Yeah.
So Skizzy Mars to me is my favorite artist in the whole entire world of all time. I don't know why. I think it's just Skizzy Mars has a way of like, he's the only one that I feel like can portray how a young person feels in the mix of trying to figure out life and partying and girls and relationships and feeling sad and feeling happy and like all the stuff that you truly go through in your mind, like in your early 20s. I feel like he's the only one that can capture and make it feel like when I'm listening to him, I'm living in that same moment, but like where I'm at. You know what I mean? And he's the one that inspired me the most for sure. And then obviously Drake, I love Drake. Like he's a super motivational person for pretty much anyone in the world. But and then Mike Stud is like, I would say one of the biggest influences for sure on me. And I feel like Mike Stud has showed, so like I followed Mike Stud, right? That's why I'm not saying Mike.
Yeah, that's
right
what I was
now.
going to ask you.
So
Like,
Mike Stud in 2012 and 13, when he first started, I believe, is when I was graduating high school. So I was listening to all the songs that Mike was making that were just straight up remixes. Like, did y'all follow him back then?
so I didn't follow him, but I knew of him. Not that early. I found out about him in like 2014, 2015.
Yeah. So
Like the Hoodie Allen,
that's
like
pretty
that
early.
type of-
Yeah.
Well, I found him when he was Mike Stud.
Yeah.
Because of Marcus Stroman. Marcus, I'm a big Marcus Stroman fan. Marcus Stroman, that's his best friend, but Marcus was also on
Kind
his
of put him
song.
on in a way.
Marcus was also on one of his songs.
Yeah.
And so that's when I found Mike Stud.
Yeah.
And then he found, I guess, Mike, and then he kept talking about Mike. And I never saw who Mike was. I knew who Mike Stud was. I've seen what he looked like.
Yeah.
And then he just played a video one day. I was like, "That's Mike Stud." He was like, he was like, "Yeah, it's I guess his old name. I guess he goes by Mike now."
Yeah.
It was like 2014, 2015 is when I found Mike Stud.
Yeah. So Mike Stud is definitely one of my big, right now, currently in my life, Mike Stud is my biggest inspiration, like by far in the music space. I don't feel like, maybe Mike Stud will see this one day, who knows, but I feel like no one in the game, I'm talking the biggest, this is my opinion, even the biggest artists signed to the biggest labels are not even close to being where Mike Stud, now Mike, is at in my eyes, because he has the most loyal fan base. He's independent. He sells hella merch, hella tickets to shows. And most big artists can't even do that. Like, most big artists could not go sell out 1,000 tickets, hard tickets, unless they did some crazy viral shit to make them super popping for that 6 months where everyone's trying to go see him just because they saw that video. You know what I mean? Like Mike Stud is longevity, and I feel like he has a blueprint that, like Mike has a blueprint that should be copied by a lot of people. Like he is in my opinion, he's the trendsetter that a lot of people don't even know about in music right now. That's how I feel about Mike. So I'm definitely not gonna copy Mike in any way, like as far as the sound and like certain things like that. But I think there's a blueprint to how he did things that I'm gonna follow pretty heavily. Yeah. I feel like he's setting a whole new wave in the music industry, and like he's showing me that there's a lot of possibilities for artists that don't want to get signed. He's showing us the way.
Yeah, especially because like he has like the Only Steve's thing, and like obviously, and I've never seen other artists like have a platform like that for their music and their content. And then obviously like they did the partnership with the app. I think I forgot what that Flamingo or whatever it's called. Yeah, like they have the partnership with the app.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's different because there's obviously artists that are super big and whatnot, but then you like to have an independent artist be able to get people like. Do you have Only Steve's? Yeah, like me and you like to pay $10 a month to get exclusively released singles, mixtapes, and the podcast.
I'm gonna do that.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's just super
year
creative.
or
Like
so.
nobody's like done that as an independent artist.
I know.
Yeah.
Question asked Mikey. They kind of answered it, but your take. Do you think The Highs will be his best body of work?
This is how I feel. The Highs is my favorite album of all time by far. Over Drake's albums, over J. Cole's albums. I'm not saying he's a better artist than those guys, but like those are my favorite artists, some of those guys. And I think no one will ever touch them numbers wise. But I think that the Highs album was the best album that I've probably heard in my life. And I played that album like no cap every day.
All the time.
Anytime I woke up out of bed, boom, Life Got Crazy. I'm on the album, but I'm clicking Life Got Crazy, and then it's shuffling through until I fall asleep. And I did that for I remember hitting the 365-day mark because Mike posted something. And I looked at my buddy, and I was like, bro, I've never had an album that I could listen to every day for 365 days and not be tired of the album. You know what I'm saying? So, like, in my eyes, it's such a good album. There's a lot of things about being an artist that's really hard, right? But one of them is if you make something too good, it is somewhat hard to top it. You know what I'm saying? And now I think Mike's in a good headspace because he's not necessarily trying to top it. You know what I mean? I think he's trying to make good music, and however everyone else takes it is how they take it. But I don't think he's in a place where he's like feeling nervous or pressured, like when you're signed to a label and you have a hit and the label's like, where's the next hit? And you're sitting there like, shit, I'm trying to make it. And like you're trying to make songs and it's not happening and you're whatever. I feel like he's in a good headspace of where the Highs probably could be his best body of work. I don't see how anything could get better. But I'm not saying that he won't make better stuff. But I think it'll be a really hard thing to top for sure.
Yeah.
What do y'all think?
I mean,
I'm not a big of fan as y'all.
Yeah.
So I've only really heard The Highs, Catalog Cabin, You Ready. What's that other album called?
with the stud light can. What's that?
Oh yeah,
For the homies.
Yeah, for the homies. I've heard that. The Highs is by far the best to me.
Yeah.
But also I haven't heard like his unreleased music that's only on Only Steve's.
Yeah.
I haven't heard a lot of his singles. The most recent single I heard was the one with
Skis.
Skis.
Probably.
Yeah. Other than that's really all I've heard. But the way that the Highs is structured, the way it sounds, and the different type of feelings, emotions in the album, it's hard to top.
Yeah.
I think like the Highs, it came out for me, and like like me and Mikey were talking about it, like we were both kind of like in an emotional, like weird space. So it's definitely like, I feel like that has a lot of impact. Like I talk to CJ all the time about like when stuff drops and is released, and it's like what you were going through at that point in your life, like that's gonna obviously resonate with the music more.
Sure.
But I don't know, man. Just because you're like, he dropped like "I'm Sorry" and like "Up Again" and like other songs like after the highs. He just dropped like, and like a lot of stuff we've heard already, but like the other audience, they're just not hearing it. Like he just dropped "Best Man" on Thursday.
Yep.
And those songs are just like, to me, they're like just as good. They're just singles. Like they're literally just as good as the highs. They're just singles.
Yeah, if you release them all together,
yeah, exactly.
Like, wow, this is crazy.
So. Yeah, I don't know, man. I just feel like he's just on that wave. Like he just knows what sounds good, and then his music is so unique. Like it's not country, it's not rap, it's not R&B. It's probably like closer to country, if anything.
Yeah.
But it's just like such a unique sound. I feel like that
Definitely.
just helps him a lot.
The thing I told them is like, in whatever song you pick, there's something that you can relate to in almost every song.
Yep.
And that's another big thing. Is not many people can do that.
Yeah.
And then also the other thing, as I said, is I'm not a big fan of him, but like I can listen to that album and not skip songs.
Yeah, yeah. And that's
but like there's bigger artists that I'll listen to and I'll still skip a song on an album.
Yep. He's provided a vibe, is what he's provided.
Yeah, it's literally like listening to albums like an experience. Like I feel like
for sure
you just want to feel good, you just throw it on.
Yeah,
for sure. And I get down a lot, so I always want to feel good. So I'm always just like, it's almost like medicine, bro. I don't know what it is.
My feel good song from that album is Rodman.
That
just
was
because
mine
like
too for the
there's just like
longest.
I mean there's meaning behind it for me.
Yeah.
But that's like my feel good is Rodman.
Yeah,
it's a good album.
No doubt.
I don't know if he'll top it or not, but I have faith that he can.
He can
probably do it.
Okay. So going back to you again, you're making music, and at this point it's like, you're a hunter.
Yeah.
That's people know you as your hunter.
Yeah.
Hey hunt, hey hunter, all this and that. Difference.
Yeah. And also, I was anonymous.
Yeah, that's
what I wanted to bring that up.
I was
actually.
gonna bring.
Yeah,
Well, I was gonna.
Yeah.
I guess eventually bring that up, but difference. How did that start? How did that come up?
How did the name come up?
Yeah.
There's several different things, right? One of them is kind of basic, and it's just I want to make a difference in a lot of people's lives, right? And I believe that music is one of the few things that can actually change people's lives in subtle ways. Like obviously I know a song isn't going to change your entire life, but it's like little subtle things that happen in your songs that people relate to. They start to feel you, and then later when you talk on podcasts, it's like now they're connected to you and like you're really changing the way they think. You know what I'm saying? So definitely I want to make a difference in people's lives. But then the other one is like the word difference is like, I used to hear a lot of people say, yeah, that's the difference between me and you, right? And I always thought to myself, like, we're all human, right? So like, it doesn't matter, all the things that people can say divide us or whatever whatever. It's like, I feel like our differences that people call differences, like I feel like we're all human. So I feel like we're all the same, right? But our differences make us who we are. You know what I'm saying? So like, if you weren't different than me or you weren't different than him, then it would be four of the same people sitting here with the same exact everything. You know what I'm saying? So it's like our differences make us like who we are. And I feel like God made us. Like, I feel like one thing people don't understand is like, no one else in the world is exactly like you. Even if you're an identical twin and your damn DNA is like pretty close or whatever. You know what I'm saying? No one's like you. Everyone is different, right? So like God gave us that one thing. There's no other difference, right? There's no other Cam. There's no other any of us, right? So it's like, in my eyes, that is our superpower. And if you just be yourself, like everyone nowadays is trying to copy everyone else. Everyone's trying to like talk like everyone else. in music, I'm so sick of it. Every song from all the new big artists sounds like all the other artists. It's like just super watered down, bunch of the same songs, same flows, same melodies. And it's like God made you unique and you're the only you. So if you just be you, then no one else can ever compete with you. You know what I'm saying? Because there is no one else that can provide this exact same thing you provide. So differences between people and all that shit, I'm just always like, we're all the same, but at the same time, your differences do make you who you are. And if you ride who you really are and project that to the world, everyone will be intrigued by you because they've never seen anyone else exactly like that. You know what I mean? So difference kind of has a bunch of meanings to me, but like those are the two main ones that gave
How
me
long
the idea.
How long did it take you like even come up with that
The first day.
first day?
Oh yeah, I did it all when I bought it.
Man, this guy, man.
Hey, on
First
top of
day.
it. Yeah, crazy.
Yeah, one take guy.
So going back to the whole anonymous thing,
Yeah.
what was the reason behind you wanting to do that at the beginning of your music career?
Okay, so this is one of my favorite things to talk about. It's so random. So I remember the first time, shout out to Fuzzy's Tacos in Lubbock, Texas,
that shit
right?
is good.
They
That
got
shit
us right every day. Shout out to Donnie. He brought us more free shots than I've ever been given in my life, right? So I'm at Fuzzy's the day that I made that song. So I make the song that day, buy all the shit. Boom, we go to Fuzzy's that night. Let's rage, right? Well, while we're there raging, I can't help it. I'm like, yo,
Play my
listen to
song.
this shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like putting it in my homies' ears and stuff. And like, they're like, damn, that's crazy. And then like a couple hours later, people around the bar, because I knew everyone back then, people around the bar like, yo, I heard you're trying to make music, bro. Like all that, like the people, how people are.
Judging you and
for real.
shit.
And so from day one, I'm like, what does it matter what I'm doing?
Yeah.
I'm like, you hear me asking you about what you're doing?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so like I got this mentality of like, I don't want to, during the come up, people hate, right? Especially
Yes,
coming from where
absolutely.
I come from. And I'm not dissing West Texas as a whole. I'm just like, the way that people perceive kids trying to do out of the box shit, right? Artist, musician, like painters, like all the crazy stuff, right?
Yeah.
People are like, yeah, have fun with that. You know what I'm saying? It's like they don't support, they talk shit. And I was fortunate and had good people around me. So like I didn't experience a lot of it, but it was also because I did the anonymous thing. And the reason I did the anonymous artist is because I didn't want to hear one more person come up to me and say, why are you trying to do this? So I found it as a hack in the game to, one, avoid all the hate and all the bullshit of people trying to talk down on you and say, this ain't going to work, like, you're nuts, like, blah, 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 right? So, like, when I went anonymous, my 5 or 6 friends in the house, because we were kind of, like, deep in my house, like, people sleeping on the couches, the rooms, everything, like. So, besides them and my girl at the time, no one knew that it was me. But like everyone was starting to circulate the music around to the parties and like I was in like hella like ag related like country shit. So it's like at those parties, it's just like hella cowboys, all the ag girls, and like people would just, yo, let me get the song or whatever. Boom, I'd send it to them. They just start playing at the parties.
That's lit.
And everyone would get lit and everyone would like them, right? But the psychology, I guess is the word, like the psychology behind being an artist is if I walk into a party, everyone knows, oh, that's the tall guy that thinks he can rap.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then they play the song, and since they see you and know you, their brain tells them it's not cool to like that song.
No, for sure.
But if no one knows it's me, or like if I play you, I don't know if y'all have ever done this, but there's times where like there's an up and coming artist that I'm like, someone will show me, I'm like, yeah, they're all right.
Yeah, no, for sure.
And then like later on you hear a song
Yeah.
and you love the song
Yeah.
and you're like, yo, this song is fire. And Ralph's like, yeah, this is
Sounds
him.
Yeah.
The one you said you didn't like. I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah.
And it's all about just like the way you're introduced to the artist is what makes people love you or feel like it's not cool to like you.
Yeah.
So like being anonymous gave me complete freedom to play my shit wherever I wanted. And if they liked it or didn't like it, no one was taking it out on me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah.
And like the other thing was being anonymous, I could ask for feedback and get raw feedback. This is the other hack that I found.
Good
So
point.
I could say, yo, my boy made this song because you don't even know I make music. I'm like, yo, my boy made this song. Check it out. Play it in the truck. Damn, this is hard. Or this sucks. Or whatever. And it's like, I'm getting the real feedback on my song. They don't even know it's my song. So like you're getting authentic feedback versus if you know it's my song and you like me or we're friends, it's like, you're not about to be like, bro, you know, the second verse just fell apart, bro.
Yeah.
It sucks. Second verse sucks, bro. Tell this guy to quit. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, because you're my friend.
Yeah.
And even though my friend loves me, you can't help
definitely
but lie
hard.
to a
Yeah.
friend.
Yeah, it's definitely hard.
You know what I'm
Because you want them
saying?
to succeed, and then you don't want to, like, everyone's just different. Like, some people, like the tough coaching because they can apply it immediately, but there's
Yeah.
also some people it's like they get real down and hard on themselves, but you also want them
sure.
still to keep doing it, you know?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
It's a weird.
Absolutely.
It's a weird thing.
Luckily with my friends, like I've always been straight up. If they make music, I've always been straight up. So it's like even if it's not good or something's wrong, I will still tell them. I don't care because at the end of the day, it's up to them how they receive it.
Yeah.
But I'm like, look, I'm not trying to be mean or anything. That's just how it is for me. Majority of them, they don't take it bad or anything.
Yeah.
But you almost have to take what your friends say with a grain of salt because,
Yeah.
like you said, at the end of the day, they do want you to succeed. And
Yeah.
They're gonna tell you what you want to hear.
Yeah. For sure.
So you just kind of have to take it with a grain of salt
Yeah.
sometimes.
I've also realized that it really doesn't matter what anyone thinks. That's the biggest thing I think in life is like, it doesn't matter if your friend likes it. It doesn't matter if your family likes it. It doesn't matter if anyone likes the song that you're close to. That's what a lot of artists focus on because at first all you have is your friends and your family. Hey, how's the song sound? Oh, it's pretty cool, son. It's like, that's it. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
Work
because they
hours
don't
on this
first
thing.
of all, they don't understand the vision.
Yeah.
None of them are artists or
Yeah.
ever thought about it. So it's
Yeah.
like,
They also, I think it's different for us when we critique music because we also, to an extent, we also understand what goes into it.
yeah. See,
Especially like having friends.
y'all know
like,
the back end.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you can
yeah.
see like how much work it takes, and also like even if we didn't do music or like have friends that do music, I feel like just us doing podcasts or content creation in general, like it's all the same in a sense. Like everything that you gotta do to do it, and then make a whole like literally from sitting down, recording, then putting it together raw, editing it.
Yeah.
Clipping it, doing whatever just to get to like this final result. Then you got to do like little small things like thumbnails and how you title it and things like that. So seeing like the whole process, it's just even if someone's music isn't great, it's just like a level of respect. Like we know what it takes to just make something.
Yeah.
So
for sure.
that I think for us it's a little bit different. We
Yeah,
give
for sure.
feedback because
The average person has no idea where it goes. They just think like you recorded something,
same thing with this.
put it out. Yeah.
Same thing with
Well,
this.
with anything creative.
Yeah.
Like, can people take a break on creative people and like hating on creative people? It's like people don't understand that creatives will dedicate their life to something and do it all for free.
You're preaching to the choir.
Creatives will give their
You're
life
preaching
to
to
it
the choir.
and they will do it all for free. And they will work until they have nothing left in them. And then when they have nothing left in them, they're going to take a day off and then they're going to
back
work.
to it, literally.
Because it's what we want.
Yeah.
And we don't want to be normal, and not even normal. I mean, I don't even know what normal is, right? But it's just like not do the typical thing. It's like when you branch out and try something creative, life gets very, very hard.
Yeah, I guess we're just you kind of were talking about why you were an anonymous rapper at first.
Yeah.
So I guess let's go into. I mean, obviously you aren't anymore.
Yeah.
So kind of when did you know that the timing or like the timing of it? You know, like why now and not later on in the year and stuff like that.
Yeah. So, all right. there's like a couple things I'll talk about here. So the mask, I always had this vision, right? Like this, as a creative, especially someone like super inspired and motivated, like you have like this thing you see that's going to happen and you're about to do everything you can to get there, right? Mm-hmm. I had this vision that if I was anonymous for long enough, there'd be a big enough buzz about who is this. Mm-hmm. And then when I took the mask off, that would be my little publicity piece to get more people talking. Like, oh, he took the mask off. You know what I'm saying? Wow.
Yeah.
All this shit. Like, tell your friends. Like, the guy took the mask off. You know what I mean? And it's
hell yeah.
I realized the mask was hurting me because people couldn't relate to me. It's like, how can someone relate to like a Ninja Turtle?
Someone they
can't. It's like people always call me like Ninja
shiesty.
Turtle, green Power Ranger, all this stuff. And then I would like be watching people like Mike or whoever, and like I'd be like, I love his music so much, but it's good music, but it's because I feel like I know that guy and I relate to him. Mm-hmm. It's like, how do you relate to someone that you can't see? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And like I wanted it to be just about the music for a long time, to where people respected the music no matter what I looked like. And then I would take it off and have like that little publicity piece of like, oh my gosh. Yeah. And I couldn't get to the place a big enough platform. Like basically the mask kept me from getting to the point that I wanted to get to take the mask off. Mm-hmm. So like finally I was just sitting back like, it's finally time to take the mask off so that I can progress forward faster. Gotcha. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I had already shot so much content through the years. I was the type, so let me take it back, right? So I go to tech, I start making music, I pick up a camera and I start shooting real estate photography, right? Like, yo, you got a listing? Give me $100. I'll pull up, I'll take the pictures, edit them, send them back in one day, right? So I'm like, all right. So I go buy a camera and I start shooting. And I get this job out of college for like this big auction company, right? So it's like mega mansions. Like I'm talking like mega mansions, like houses so big that they can't sell them, right? So they have to go to auction. So it seems like this glamorous job and all this stuff, right? But like I was making no money. All I was doing was I got to travel and then I would take an L. And then I would travel and I'd take an L. So basically it was you'd work 7 days a week for 8 weeks, right? With no days off. Mind you, or you're like in West Palm Beach. So it's like you're chilling in the evenings and you're in West Palm Beach. So like that's better than a day off, right? So they would fly me. So I leave college, I moved to Austin. And I'm shooting with the camera, right? And I'm realizing like, all right, well, music takes a lot. Like we can go over that in a minute, but like music takes a lot of money. So I need to find a better job, or I need to find a job. Mm-hmm. So boom, get this job, and they send me to California immediately, right? And what they do is they call you, yo, pack up all your shit, go to California. We need you in Sacramento for 8 weeks. All right, say less. They send you money for an Airbnb and a rental car, right? So boom, they send you that up front. You show up, you fly out there, rent a car, and you chill, and you work 7 days a week for 8 weeks, right?
Damn.
So every single time, this is like some iconic shit in my life, right? They would send me on an 8-week work trip, and I would be in charge of this one house, marketing this house, right? I'm not like the realtor. I'm just like a marketing guy that's like passing out flyers 7 days a week, trying to get people to come bid on this property, right? So every single day, I would wake up like 6 a.m. and I would make music until 8. And then at 8 a.m., I would go to work all day till 5, 6 p.m., and I would go back to the hotel. So I'm staying in like, they give you a certain amount of money to do whatever you want with. So it's like if you want to get an Airbnb, if you have a friend that lives in that city and you stay with them for free, keep the money we gave you for the Airbnb. So I'm immediately like, when they tell me that, like, like I'm in a find. So bro, I'm in some. I'm in some rough parts of all these towns at like the extended stay, like cockroaches type shit. Because I was like, they gave me this money. If I spend a third of it on a shitty hotel, I can spend the other 2/3 on music, right? So I'm like, all right. So I like have 3 suitcases that are huge with monitors, speakers, all my gear, all my filming gear, all this shit, right? I would fly it everywhere, and every day I would make music nonstop, and I would just meet people in that city, right? So I'd make all these connections, I'd find recording studios, blah, blah, blah. At the end of the 8 weeks, they call you, the auction's over, the house didn't sell, you get no money. Now we need you in Orlando, Florida. Pack your shit. Boom, they send me another, whatever.
Money.
Yeah, they'd send me the money. And I would hop on a plane in California and I would fly to Orlando for 8 weeks. And I would do that over and over, 8 weeks at a time in all these places. Didn't have a day off for like 9 months probably.
Jeez.
It's 2 months
Until
at
I
a time.
finally said no to one and I was like, I need a break, right?
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is I was grinding as hard as I could, no matter where I was, and I knew not one soul in any of the cities that I went to. So I showed up by myself, didn't know anyone. All I knew to do was make music, and if I met people around the city, ask them if they make music, type shit. Maybe have them back to the hotel. It's just like sketchy hotels. Like there was times I would be making music in the extended stay. The people next door to me would be trapping their ass off. And I'm coming home in a suit every day, right, from this work. Because you have to wear a suit. It's a big house. You're marketing a big house, whatever. So I'm like, boom, come home in a suit every day. Walk in with my briefcase and shit. And I'd be like unlocking the door. And here come all these people out the room next to me selling all types of illegal substances. And I'm just like, this is interesting, right? So I'm like, these guys could make music, right? Because
No, for real.
Yeah.
no, for real.
They could.
Because the reason I say that is because they have music banging in their room all the time. So I'm like, maybe one of them makes music, or maybe they all just tell them, come listen to this song I'm making next door, and like whatever.
Yeah.
So I would make friends with crazy, like, I don't know what to call it, bro. Like some crazy people. I'll say that. At every hotel I'd be at, I'm in like the sketchiest parts of every city that I'm in. Now, sometimes I'd have a nice ass Airbnb if I felt like it, right? Or if the money they sent me would get it, right? But most of the time I was in those hotels and I would come home in a suit. I would go in, I would change in all my comfy shit, put a hoodie on, start the speakers, boom. Then I'd end up meeting the neighbors, all the people. People getting arrested in the hall and shit. People that I'm like next door to. It's like crazy shit's going on. And I'm just having them in my room. We're making music together. They've never even made music. They're just super trapped out, just having fun.
Yeah.
Crazy shit like
That's
that.
live.
That is live.
That's live.
That's
some
crazy,
bike
bro.
shit right there.
Yeah.
Nah, for
Bro,
real.
100%,
No lie.
That's
bro.
live.
That's some bike shit.
So then the last one that they send me to is Oak Glen, California. And it's a mountain town 45 minutes out of LA. So I'm over here like, LA. I'm like, this is where I've always wanted to go. I feel like my music career would take off if I go to LA, right? So I go do this thing in Oak Glen, and I'm like working, but I'm also like trying to figure out how I can quit the job and stay in LA. Like I'm already here, like I have all my shit, like why not? So I don't end up staying then. I go back. I'm like, can't figure it out, all this shit. One day I decide, this is like my favorite part of the story. I decide that I'm going to go to LA. I'm about to drive back, right? So it's 18 hours from where I live at the time. And I'm like, all right.
This was in Austin?
Yeah. So, or I might have been like back in Seminole at that point, like I forget what it was, but it was an 18-hour drive, right? So I'm like, you know what? Whatever. Have a month left in my apartment. So I take everything I can, put it in my truck. I'm driving like a bigger truck back then, so I could fit hella stuff in there. Pack my whole life in the truck. And I remember sitting there after I packed the truck, like, all right, are we really doing this, bro? I was like, we're going to LA. And I remember pulling out of the city, bro, with everything in my truck. I'm talking stacked to the ceiling in my passenger seat and the whole back and the bed of the truck, like with a tarp on it type shit. Everything I have. And I'm like, all right, we're doing it. Boom. I put it in drive, and I drive 18 hours to Los Angeles. I don't know a single person in Los Angeles, and I don't have anywhere to stay. I barely have any money. And I don't know what I'm doing. I just know that I'm driving to Los Angeles, right? So I'm like sitting there driving. I cry for like 2 hours, 3 hours. I'm like talking to all my people, like I'm going to LA, all this stuff, blah, blah, blah. And write like 3 songs. My sweet spot in writing songs is when I'm driving. Because I don't focus on just writing the song. I have to focus on driving. But if I'm typing the song as I'm hearing the beat, then I'm like, my mind just, it moves faster. I don't know why. So I write all these songs on the way to LA. I pull into LA, it's like 2 a.m. I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know where I'm staying. I don't know anything. I was like, but I know I came here to make music, so I'm finna get on Google, and I Google coolest studio in Los Angeles. I don't know why I put coolest, but I was like, hey, we're doing some fly shit. So I'm like, boom. I'm like, I just drove 18 hours. Like, I'm not going to a lame ass studio. Yeah. So I type in coolest studio in LA, and boom, Hush Money Music pulls up. And shout out to Hush Money. They know how much they changed my life. I don't have to keep saying it, but they were awesome, right? So it's called Hush Money LA. Boom, I pull up to Hush Money. I'm in Koreatown of Los Angeles, right? Completely new to me. And I park my truck at the bottom of the thing. I booked 4 hours to record. I park my truck. Everything in my life is in this truck. Go upstairs and meet these guys named Kubla and Chris. They own the studio, right? But Kubla is also a like platinum producer, engineer. Like he's an artist himself. Like all this stuff, right? So I worked with them for 4 hours that night, and we hit it off so hard that I'm just like, yo, this is what I'm doing right here. I got to figure out how to stay right here by Hush Money, right?
This was at 2 a.m. you did this?
This is at 2 a.m. So we finished up at like 6, right?
That's insane.
And I'm still just alone, right? I'm just with these random 2 people in LA, right? So it's 6 a.m. I'm like, all right, you know, what do I do now? Like, see y'all later. Had a great time. Whatever. I go downstairs in my truck, and I just go to sleep in the truck, right? And this is what got me, is I realized I could do that. So I fall asleep in the truck. I wake up the next morning. I'm like, shit. I'm in Los Angeles. And I'm like, the studio's right above me. I'm like, maybe I'll text Chris. I don't know what else to do there. I had nothing else to do but record. So I text Chris, and I'm like, yo, I'm still downstairs. Like, can I book another session, right? And he's like, sure. So I book another session. I go up there, and they're just like such cool people, and like we really vibed like so well that like I kind of like asked them like, yo, I have a camera. I have no other way to make money right now. I don't have anywhere to stay, like, but I can do some camera work for the studio to give y'all content if you'll let me record here like more often. You know what I'm saying?
Nice little barter.
So then I do that, and I'm like staying in my truck. I make friends with this dude that I don't know if he knows English or not. It was like very like sparingly that he would speak in English, right? So like, so I'm like sitting there, and it's a valet parking, right, at the bottom of the studio in the middle of Koreatown. And I talk him into like, yo, I'll give you $10 if you lock me in the parking lot and let me sleep in my truck, right? Because it like the parking lot had these 2 big gates that they could shut, right? So all the parking lot would be empty every night except for my truck in the back of the parking lot. And I'd give him $10, and he would lock me in there, and I would wake up at 8 a.m. The gates would be open. I'd go across the street to Carl's Jr., because that was the only American food in all of Koreatown. It was hell. So I ate Carl's Jr., and then I'd walk right back across the street, and I'd go up and hang with Kubla and Chris. And we just had like a hell of a run for like a minute. I'm meeting all types of artists, shooting for all types of artists for free. This whole time I was shooting everything for free, right? So like my money that I had after a couple of studio sessions was like going down type shit. So I'm doing all this, sleeping in my truck downstairs in Koreatown every day, back and forth, shooting for artists, all this different stuff. And then like I was on such a good, it was like my dream, right? That's what I was living at the time. And one day I wake up and all my shit has been stolen out of my truck. Not all of the things I owned, but my media bags. So all my camera, my lights, my mics, all that shit had been broken into and they took the backpacks, right? So at that point, I'm sitting there like, I have a major breakdown, right? I'm like losing it, crying, don't know what to do, don't want to call my parents because they don't want me going there. They didn't want me there anyways. They're not too about the music stuff. So like it's all just me by myself. And at that point, I felt like I had lost everything again. And it felt like the same feeling of whenever I lost football at that point because I didn't have enough money saved up to go buy that equipment again. And I didn't have insurance on the equipment. I didn't even know what that shit was back then. So basically I take a huge L and everyone's like, don't move back, don't let this stop you, don't let this keep you from staying in LA and all this stuff. And it's just like, y'all know life gets so hard sometimes, a lot of times, that it's like sometimes you have no option.
Yeah,
You know
especially in LA, like it's not cheap.
Yeah, no, it's not cheap.
No.
And I mean, I wasn't paying rent. I wasn't doing any, like I was literally.
Well, because you're living in your vehicle.
Yeah.
But like, at that point, you still got to make some kind of money to at least get half the equipment
exactly.
back.
And I had just got to the point where people were gonna start paying me a couple $100s for videos and shit.
Damn.
All that's taken. I'm like, damn, what do I do? Right? I can't stay. I have no house. I have nothing. But I stretched that out for like, I think I was in LA for almost a year, right?
Oh, shit.
With nothing type shit. There was a point at the end where I like got with some friends, tried to get an apartment, got an apartment, blah, blah, blah for the last few months. Boom, that happens. I'm like, I gotta go home. And I called Kubla, the producer there, called his friend. He's like a super producer. His name's Jay White. I don't know if y'all know who he is, but he's like behind a lot of the biggest #1 hits like on the radio. Meg Thee Stallion, Cardi B, Bodak Yellow. He did all those songs, right? So Kubla's like, he lives in Dallas. Have you ever been to Dallas? I'm like, yeah, I've been there a lot, but I never thought about living there. He's like, well, he's in Dallas at Media Tech Institute. I'm like, all right, well, let's figure this out. So he calls Jay White. He recommends Media Tech, all this stuff. I'm like, all right, I'm moving to Dallas. Drive all the way home. And then I'm just sitting in Dallas. Here we are right now, right?
Yeah.
We're still here. This was like 2 years ago. But it's like, at that point, I was like, damn, I'm starting over again. You know what I'm saying? And it was like a big reality check for me. And like, Dallas has been great for sure. And I met a lot of people. So like, I'm glad that I ended up here. I just didn't think I ever would. And I honestly don't even know how I ended up here. But got some friends to move over here, convinced them once I was here, like, y'all move to Dallas. I'm alone. So I'm like, y'all come to Dallas.
Yeah.
And like my best friend Connor, like we've been ride or die since we were, 7 years old. He was like, all right, I'll come to Dallas. I'm like, all right, cool. He moves to Dallas. We build home studios. And in the last 2 years, we've just been grinding nonstop the same way we always have been. But it's just like back in Texas. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And I'm glad that I'm here, honestly, now. I don't think if I would have stayed in LA, I would have been that happy.
Yeah, no doubt. LA's people always talk about it, like influencers and stuff, just how like of a draining environment it is. Because like you go there to make it, but like just the competition.
You just know what comes with LA.
All the shit that comes with it. Like, yeah, it's a lot. So
it is. It is a lot.
That's a crazy story.
Yeah, that shit was crazy.
I ain't
That's
gonna
like
lie,
a
the
movie.
whole time you were talking, I'm in my head. I'm just like, how does this shit not get stolen? I was thinking that the whole time Because you
my
go from like
dad,
sketchy to
after I
sketchy
told
to
him the
sketchy. I was
story,
like,
because I didn't tell my dad about the sleeping in my truck and stuff, and like he was like, you realize that there are gangs out there and there is gang initiations and all this shit where they break into vehicles or do shit to people or whatever. And I was like, never crossed my mind. Like, and mine, like the whole time that I'm sleeping in my truck, the back is still full and the passenger side is still full. So I sleep on my center console like this every night.
Damn.
And I would sleep for 3 hours, wake up, oh shit, it's 8 o'clock, Carl's Jr., boom, studio, over and over. And I never left. I mean, there was a couple times where some friends, I think, like Mikey G and them, I think, came down one time. So I got an Airbnb for like that week in the mountains type shit. And, like,
excited.
you know, like friends came, so I was like, all right, shit, I'll spend $500 right now on an Airbnb, I guess, boom. So there was like some fun times and stuff in it too, but it was different. But I never really left Koreatown. I don't know shit about LA. I don't know any of the areas. I don't know any of the clubs. I don't know anyone there except for the people on that block in Koreatown. And everyone on that block eventually like knew me. And then I would just walk. I never left that block, but when I walked around the block, what up, Diff? What up? Just all type of different people that were just in the building. So I just felt at home. I just never left. I just up and down all day, and that's it.
that's fire.
That's
crazy. Shouts out to them for
that
real.
That was crazy.
Yeah, dedication for real.
Shouts out to them for real.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kubla and Chris really, really helped my life a lot. So shout out to y'all. I love y'all. I tell them all the time. But
Have you since then? Have you gone back to?
oh yeah. Shit,
yeah.
I've taken Braxton and all that. They got people recording there now.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I took
Nice.
Braxton and all them out there, and so
Nice.
I've been
Damn.
back there 4 or 5 times. I guess I left 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago. So
It's still a lot.
yeah,
2.5,
I'm gonna go back one day. But
How'd you meet Braxton and all of them? Like, how'd that happen?
yeah, so just so y'all know, the viewers know, Braxton is like he does a lot. He's like a hardcore entrepreneur.
He's a catalyst.
Catalyst, literally.
Yeah, he's a really, really good guy, first of all. Everyone knows that. Connects a lot of people. He's like a master connector. Has several companies, like blah, 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 right? He does it all. So I meet Braxton here in Dallas, actually. And we had been talking on Instagram, and he was just like, what's up, bro? Like, whatever. So I'm just talking to this random guy, and I'm like, you know, he seems cool. Seems like he's got some stuff going on. So I'm like, all right, this isn't just some random, like, you know, weird person, like, trying to hang out or whatever. So I'm like, all right. So I hit Braxton, and he just came to my apartment. I met him in the parking garage. We went into the studio in my apartment here and talked for like 3 hours. And I could just tell immediately, I don't meet a whole lot. I mean, everyone's the same, right? Like, there's only certain people you meet in life that you click with instantly, and you can tell that you have the same intentions in life that they do. And I could tell from the very beginning, the second I met Braxton, that he's one of like the 2 or 3 people on earth that I feel like we're on the same exact page. You know what I'm saying? So I met him then, and then I was just like, we did some business together on website building and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I just started going to Arizona. And like Braxton, his crew is like awesome.
Bro,
Like Austin Chick and all them are just awesome. Bro.
as soon as you walk in, I mean, there's just no feeling.
Bro,
I can't
They're just
explain.
good
It just,
guys and like,
bro, they literally, it's family. That's literally the only way and the best way to explain it is it just feels like family.
yeah.
The first time I met Braxton, like, because we've talked prior, and obviously me and Cayman were like boys, and like that's Cayman's childhood boy, and we literally walk into the studio, gets out his chair, comes up and like hugs me, like bro, like real full on hugs me. I'm like, damn, like I've been talking to you, but I never met you. This is like, it's not just a dap up, it was like a hug.
And I've never talked to him before either, and that was the first time I talked to him. It was the same thing.
And like even like CJ, Alex, they met him. We went to San Diego last year, and same type of deal. Like,
Bro, he's just a very, very, very genuine dope dude.
Yeah. He's cool.
Yeah.
He's cool. We all love Braxton. Shout out Braxton.
Shout out
She almost
Braxton.
turned the camera off, but
Yeah,
shout out Braxton.
Yeah, for real.
So I guess just backtracking to it. Get back to Dallas.
Are we rolling again?
Yeah, we're rolling again. We get back to Dallas, And I guess where does 2K come in? Like where is that part of the story? Where's that journey at?
Okay, so NBA 2K, right? So like in music, it takes a long time to like for something to happen. Really for anything to happen. You know what I'm saying? So like I'm waiting on like this big break, right? Like something's gotta happen, blah, blah, blah. And I get a call one day from this guy named Caesar. And he mentions, he's like, because basically the way it worked, right, is like hundreds of thousands of songs got submitted for this chance to be on 2K, right? So I'm like, all right, I'll submit my song, but like artists do that all the time. And it's like there's a 0% chance like I'm about to get this, right? Well, Caesar calls and he's like, yo, you submitted for NBA 2K, right? I'm like, yes, sir. It's like late at night, me and my girl chilling. I'm like, get the camera.
Hell yeah.
So I'm like, get the camera,
Get
get
that
the
behind the
camera, right?
scenes.
So I'm like, yes, sir, I did. She like starts filming or whatever. And like at that time, this was like the biggest thing that's ever happened in my life. So like I'm like about to cry, like I'm over here, like all this shit is finally paying off. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
It's like a crazy feeling, right? But he calls me, he's like, yo, your song was selected for NBA 2K. Can I email you the paperwork? Just call him like that. And I'm like, and I have it on speakerphone. So like she's videoing, he says that, and I'm just like looking at her like, what is going on, right? It's gotta be fake. So he's like, talks to me for a minute. He's like, yeah, we love the song, blah, blah. We're even gonna think about pitching it to these other things, all this stuff. And literally, they just called. They sent me the paperwork. I signed the paperwork. I call everyone I know. Yo, I'm going to be on 2K. All this stuff, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, damn, my song is about to be on NBA 2K. And I'm just like mind blown at how fast it happened from the call to the email. I signed the paperwork. Boom. I'm on NBA 2K like 3 months later when it releases. So it was just like a crazy process. Shout out to United Masters. They're the best in the game, in my opinion. They're the ones that had that submitting of your songs, and they would pick a song. They had a couple slots that they got to choose music for the game. And anyways, that's how that happened, basically. It was just, I want to say it was luck, but people love that song, and it's still my top stream song, like, on a daily basis. For like 3 years now, 3 years.
Where were you at in life at that point?
I had just got back to Dallas.
No, it wasn't luck. All the work you put in California led you to that moment.
What song was it?
Times Change.
Times Change. Oh, that's what I got on my phone. I was trying to find that shit.
How was that bag?
Well, so I was going to ask. So
How does that work?
Okay,
Like,
so look. It sucks to say, but there was no bag with the 2K thing.
Okay.
It was, so being an artist sucks, right? We love it, but it sucks, right? Because everything is so hard to get paid for doing it. You know what I'm saying? So like the way this worked is NBA 2K is giving you the chance for the exposure for everyone to find your song. So we're not going to pay you, but we're going to bring you a bunch of listeners. So at the time, I mean, why not? You know,
yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
It's either I
It's
sit here and
opportunity.
make no money, or I sit here and make no money, but my song
shit's on
is on
2K.
2K.
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
You know what
doubt.
I'm saying?
Yeah,
so I was
yeah.
like, I'll take that.
For
right?
sure.
So there was no bag at all from it. It was just so.
Just exposure, which
Yeah.
is, that's pretty
And it
essentially
helped,
what.
and
Yeah.
it's definitely helped in a lot of situations. I'll say that it makes people look at you very, very seriously versus like, like just any type of credibility like makes other people like, oh well, he must be good if it's on 2K, and then they'll listen.
Yeah.
They
Yeah,
take
like
you more
a-
serious.
Yeah, take you more serious. So
Absolutely.
that helped a lot too.
What 2K was that?
21.
21?
Yeah, so 2 years.
Was that
ago.
Anthony Davis on the cover? Which one was that?
I'm trying to think. It was Kobe.
What was it, Kobe?
It was Kobe.
That was Kobe?
Damn,
Because
yeah, it
my
was
my
Kobe.
girl.
Did they give you at least
my
for free
girl-
copy of the game?
No.
No. Hell.
Yeah, that's fire.
But
yeah.
my girl did, right?
yeah,
My
yeah.
girl went and bought me a shadow box, right? I'm like a lover boy. I love my girl a lot, right? So she's always real sweet to me too. And when this happens, I'm like, damn, this is crazy. The next thing I know, she shows up. She has this shadow box. She went and bought the game for $80 and just glued it in this thing and just framed it. Because I don't play video games. So I was never going to play it anyways.
Yeah.
So she goes and buys a game for $80, puts it in a shadow box, puts the date or whatever, I don't remember. And I just have it like framed.
That's fire.
And I'm pretty sure it's Kobe. That's the reason I think I remember that.
That's so fire, bro. Yeah.
Damn, that sucks. I mean, it's cool. I mean, sometimes you just that's the shit you got to do. Is free shit. And like you were saying earlier, like content creators will do so much shit for free. Man, that's what comes with it.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
You gotta take the good with the bad, the bad with the good.
I've had a couple things happen where like a bag came and I was like, whoa. You know what I mean? Like not a huge bag, nothing that would change our lives, but just like
something,
you know.
Yeah. That's crazy. Yeah, that's crazy. Just because this whole weekend, like from the first guest we shot this morning to you, like hearing different situations, like working with major companies and businesses, it's like crazy to just see like from like the creative perspective, it's like, damn, like I'm getting this opportunity, but it's like I'm putting in so much work. I want to get paid, but then you just gotta kind of like suck it up and be like,
bro,
you know, you gotta do certain things to just put yourself in position and then have leverage. And then eventually you'll have that leverage and be like, well, you know, I do this, I provide this for you, so you got to come with this if I'm gonna help. In my,
it's tough.
No, I just realized. What's that? I think every person we have on the podcast is a small town person.
Really?
Yeah, for the most part.
Nolan, like,
because we're trying to make it out.
Yeah.
And not like, obviously I already made it out, like I'm in Dallas, but like make it out of the small town mentality is so crazy, bro.
Yeah.
People don't understand.
I mean, at least from the outside looking in, all you know is work.
Yeah, all you know is work. And the best way for me to describe, like, I'll just talk about West Texas small towns. Like, every small town's the same. But, like, you're in the small town, right? And all you know is the shit that's going on around you. So that's, like, it's the same way anyone where they grow up, right? But a small town is, like, there's only, like, 15 categories of shit that you can do as a career, right? There's not like all types of different crazy shit. There's like a couple industries that you could get into. Mm-hmm. So it's like you think that that's life, right? This is life. Everything that's going on here is life. Everyone wears cowboy boots and jeans. I wear cowboy boots and jeans. You know what I'm saying? Like someone farms, it's like everyone else is going to go farm. It's like very like, it's awesome. I would not be raised anywhere else. Like if I had the choice, like West Texas made me who I am. But it's like you're in a glass box and you, like the glass box, like obviously it's glass. Like you can't see that there's walls around the small town. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you're in this glass box, but since you can't see the walls and they're clear, you don't know you're in a box at all until you drive outside the walls. And then you can look back and see like, oh, damn, I was in this little box my whole life and thought this was all that there was, but I never even knew I was in a box until I like forced myself to drive out of the box for no reason. You know what I mean? Then you look back and you're like, oh shit, all those people they're all great people. I mean, everyone do what you need to in life. But all those people, a lot of them don't realize they're stuck in a glass box. And that's not what life is. Whatever's right there where you grew up is not all that there is to life. Yep. It's like you have to leave, and as soon as you leave, you experience things in life that are like really eye-opening, change your perception on life. You know what I'm saying? And it's like small town's good, but it's good to get out at some point.
Question.
Okay.
How did it feel, or how to know, or if they don't support this stuff, but how, your parents, like how did it make you feel like they didn't necessarily support what you wanted to do? Because I mean, at the end of the day, like you still want your parents to like support what you do, and it hurts if they don't, because like it's like, damn, like I want to do this, and obviously I want y'all to have my back with it and whatnot.
Yeah, so that's been the toughest part of all this for me, mentally and emotionally, is just like, it's really draining, wanting, you could have 1,000 people like a song, right? Mm-hmm. But if the two people that you really want to like the song don't like the song, then you forget about the other people that like it.
Yeah.
You're like, well, yeah, they all like it, but they don't. So it's like with your parents, it's like, and I love my parents to death. I highly doubt that they'll ever see this, but I love y'all to death, and y'all been incredible parents. But there's lots of times in my life through music that from the beginning, they were not about it. They didn't want me to do it. They thought it was dumb. They thought I was wasting my time. I was about to throw my whole life away. And up until this point, I would say some of my family kind of supports me, but like I don't truly know because no one vocally tells me that they support me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like a really, really hard battle for me because I love my family a lot, and like all you want is those people to support you. And it's hard to tell if they support you because most family members aren't just like coming up like, yo, what you're doing is incredible. You know, so proud of you. It's just like little stuff. Heard you dropped the new song last week. That's awesome. You know, stuff like that. And it's like all passive and like, but it goes back to what I said earlier. If you put all of your thoughts and all of your like all the pressure on like if one thing, if they don't like it, then you're going to feel let down. So like 6 months ago, I decided I love my family to death and I love everyone that maybe doesn't understand what I'm doing. But I've learned that you don't need to focus on if your family likes your music because it's impossible for someone that's never done music and that's grown up and is 40, 50 years old. It's impossible for them to ever get in the headspace that I'm in. You know what I mean? So how can I be mad at them for not liking it when they don't even understand it? Like all this stuff that I just explained, this whole podcast, my parents don't know any of it. They don't know anything I've done. They don't know nothing, but I've always kept a little side job and they're proud of me for that. You know what I'm saying?
They probably just, I mean, it is, but they probably just, it's a pipe dream. It's chasing a pipe dream.
Yeah, it's chasing a pipe dream. And my dad, he's awesome. He supports me. Like my mom probably supports me.
At the end of the day, it's like our parents just want what's the best for us and want us to do good in whatever we do.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, and they see it as, oh, I'm putting all my marbles in this one bag to make music and do music. And it's like, you got a degree, you're just going after a pipe dream now. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, and I understand because it's like, if anyone out there is mad that your parents don't support you in what you're doing, it's like, think about what you're doing. And like, for me, it's making music, right? Mm-hmm. I think if I was a parent that gave my kid everything I could my whole life and struggled hard to make sure we were good, right? Their whole goal in life is to set me up to make things happen in like the regular world of getting a job, making money, and now you're on a W-2 and you get paid every month and your family's good, right? If you have kids, you at least have money coming in each month. You can take care of them. It's like, imagine doing everything you could for your kid to set them up for success, and they say, hey, decided I'm going to be a rapper. It's like... what are they supposed to say? Not like, oh, great, all this work I did, now you're going to be a rapper?
No.
That's awesome. Hell no. It's like, what are you doing, bro? We just gave you everything we could.
And I think,
so I understand.
I think it'll be a lot different, too, for, like, our generation when we have kids and, like, they grow up to do stuff because...
For sure.
Obviously, like, our parents' generation is still in that mentality where it's just like you go to school, go to college. If you don't go to college, then you just work at a job and work your way up or whatever the case may be, or if you get a job at a college, whatever the case may be. But nowadays, with technology and then obviously like young people, just seeing like what young people are doing at like an early age, just creatively or entrepreneurially, like that's kind of like the spirit that our generation is in. So I think whenever we have kids, we're going to be able to understand it more and comprehend it more. Like if our kid's like, hey, I want to be a esports pro gamer, or hey, if I want to, you know, make art and sell it, we're going to be like, okay. Especially for us, because we understand
For
it. But
sure,
even if we didn't do it, it's just so common. Like it's normal. You know,
I mean, our parents, and same with your parents, like they're they're stuck in the old head mentality, which is work, and that's all they know. That's all they do. If you ain't working, you're not hustling.
Yeah.
That's the way they see it.
Yeah.
Versus like our hustle is like this. Sure, we're not, because their hustle is like, if you're not making money, you're not hustling. Sure, we're not making anything, but this is still a hustle.
Yeah.
Just two different perspectives on it.
And you know what you can make too when you when you surround yourself and you see people that are like doing kind of similar stuff, and you're like, damn, like they're doing it, I can do that shit too, you know.
I think for us, we're just in a little bit of a different situation because, sure, at the end of the day, what we're doing is still chasing a pipe dream. But for us, we still have our normal everyday jobs that support us and what we're doing and support our lives and paying rent and doing all that good stuff.
Having fun and living life still.
Living life.
You still got to live your life too to an extent. Like,
and I think that's just different for us. And like our parents support us because we're doing what we want to do, but at the same time, we're making sure that our shit is taken care of.
Yeah. And see, that's what I've always done too. And maybe that's like a super shout out to our parents for at least giving us the brain to know that like you need something else going on. If you're doing something creative, you have to have a job to pay the bills. But it's like I've done everything I can and hustled every day of my life. And it's a struggle for sure trying to get money for music.
Yeah. It's not easy and it's expensive.
It's expensive.
Expensive as hell.
It is.
Do you have?
Yeah, I have one more question for you,
All right,
sir.
let's go.
Obviously, you make music. So how do you separate like your music account and like your personal life? Like, do you? Music is kind of a way to express your emotions and stuff. So, are you kind of like telling your audience like what everything that goes on in your life, or is it something like you only talk about certain things, or how do you?
That's a cool question.
Differentiate like what you put in your music and what you keep to yourself.
So it's like there is small categories of my life that I won't talk about, but majority of my life I'm down to talk about it. You know what I'm saying? The only time I keep anything to myself and not give it to the world is when I know that it could hurt or affect other people's lives. You know what I'm saying?
Have you ever thought about making a song that I guess you're just telling a story and using aliases?
No, because my parents and everyone in the small town that I grew up in will listen to it, and there's no way that I could, there's no way I could truly express how I feel without people truly understanding who they were. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
So I try and give the people every part of me, but there's a few things that I have to kind of, and it's not like some crazy shit that like
you're protecting other people.
Yeah, it's just like shit that I went through, and the a lot of people think that I probably had it easier than I did, and it's just a side of the story I can't ever tell. And there's a lot of people that growing up were like, "Yeah, you're fine, bro. Your life is fine." Everything seems good with you, and it's like, yeah, whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
nobody knows the inside.
No one knows
the outside.
And that's why it's good not to judge. I don't judge anyone. Like, I don't know. Everyone's gone through
Everyone's gone through something in their own way.
That's the craziest thing. Is like, I don't know if y'all ever do this, but in traffic, I just look at the person next to me, and I'm like, God, I don't know what this person's going through, right? I'll never meet him, right? And there's 4,000 other people in traffic right here in front of me. Every single one of them has their own story and their own bad shit that they're dealing with. You know what I'm saying? Like, not everyone's depressed. I'm not saying that, but like, everyone's going through a hardcore situation every day of their life, right? You might get through something that takes you 3 years to get through, and within 6 months, here comes something else. Then you spend 3 months going through that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I'm always just like, everyone is going through so much shit. And you could sit there and be like, no one has it as bad as me. I'm struggling. Everyone has it as bad as you. Even the people with hella money have the problems that are probably worse than your problems.
No.
So it's like I don't understand like why anyone really judges anyone on like anything really. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, nobody ever knows. Like I said, you only see the outside, you don't see the inside.
Yeah.
Nah,
Everybody got demons they're battling with.
facts.
For sure.
Yeah, that's just how it is.
That's why I made my song Demons. I don't know if y'all have heard it, but the
I'm
whole song
finna go listen
Demons.
to it though.
Yeah.
Yeah. What?
do you have?
Just wanted if you want to do those questions.
Uh,
we can
I
do
was,
those.
but
Okay,
yeah.
bet. Yeah. What artists or rapper musician do you want to collaborate with?
Number one is Mike. Mike, period. Not Mike Stud. The new
You ready?
Yeah, facts.
Lost a little oomph. It's late, but
Yeah, I was gonna try and I'm like, don't try.
yeah.
But yeah, he's definitely one. On the big level, you know, of like the almost impossible to ever happen type shit, I would love to work with Post Malone. I'd love to work with Drake. You know, like there's those big people that I'd like to work with. But yeah, Mike is one. And then there's a newcomer. And so maybe everyone out here can go listen to this guy, right? But have you ever heard of Lou? I posted
Mikey,
him yesterday.
Mikey
no,
G,
Mikey,
he was talking about him.
He already went through all this?
Well, no. So I'm gonna ask you some questions here in a little bit, and one of his answers was to one of the questions.
Oh, okay.
He didn't
cool.
go into depth about him or anything.
Cool.
But
I'll give
he
the full
mentioned him.
shout out then, right? Mike showed me Lou. So, like, shout out to Mike.
Is it
for
spelled
showing me
L?
Lou,
How's
right?
it spelled?
Lew.
Okay,
Right?
bet.
Yeah.
So, Lou, in my opinion, right now, is one of the up and comers that has the full motion behind him right now to make him one of the next biggest artists in the industry, right? So, like, right now is a time to catch Lou at a point where he's about to break. You know what I'm saying? And in my opinion, Lou is one of the best new artists that I've heard in probably over a year, right? I don't know if y'all been finding a lot of new artists lately, but like I feel like everything's watered down right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone
no
sounds
doubt.
the same. I'm sick of hearing everyone's
Yeah.
music. And then you have Lou. And Lou is himself. He's super fire. All his songs actually make sense. You know what I'm saying? You can understand what he's saying. And he is just an incredible artist that I think a year from now, 2 years from now, he's going to be massive. And right now, I feel like he's right at that undiscovered level, but he is going up big time. And so something no one knows yet is me and Lou have been talking, and I just made a new song, sent it to Lou, shout out to Lou, and he wants to hop on it, right? So I'm gonna pay him for the feature, all that
Hell
stuff.
yeah.
Hell yeah.
We're gonna
Fire.
shoot a music video together. I'm gonna have Ralph shoot it.
Nice.
Ralph Canono.
Yeah.
Shout
Ralph.
out
Shout out
Canono Entertainment.
Facts.
The best music videos in the game. And he's gonna shoot it. I got the song done. He's about to send me the verse back, and then that's gonna be like one of my big. It'll be equal with the Cap G feature, like
Got
as
you.
far as like a big feature for me. So
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm really excited about that. That just happened like 3 days ago. So
Hell yeah.
Do
That's
you know
a
when
blessing.
all that around the date wise, the estimation wise, when all
I'm
that?
planning on dropping it in March.
March.
So
Oh,
I'm
okay,
in the
soon.
I'm in the process of dropping a lot of music this year. So like typically I'll drop like 10, 15 songs a year, right? This year my plan is to drop like 50 to 60 songs, right? I was going to drop every single week, every Friday of the whole year, right? So I get geared up, ready to do it. Some unfortunate stuff has happened in my first like month of the year. Like I was pumped about 2023 and I still am. But like the first day of 2023, I get a call that one of my friends commits suicide. And I haven't ever had a friend commit suicide, right? So it hit me hard. And I go through that for a little while. I'm like, I'm not posting. Like, if I would have dropped on the first, whatever, of the Friday of the year, like it was the day of his funeral. You know what I'm saying? So, like, whatever. I'm going through that. Then, boom, someone else really close to me dies like a week and a half ago. So, boom, I'm going through that. And then now I'm to this point where I think I'm good to go again. You know what I'm saying? I have like 35 songs finished in the vault, bunch of videos. So at this point, I'm about to start dropping at least once every 2 weeks. And then I'm going to drop like 4 or 5 EPs through the year to try and like get those 50 or 60 songs released. And I think that one's planned for March, if I'm not mistaken.
Gotcha.
So that'll be part of my like spring break wave.
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
Right now it's a little more
Dope.
slower, like in my feelings type stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. That'll be. I mean, one of my questions was, "What's next for you?" But before that, sorry for your losses. Losses are never easy.
Condolences.
Sorry to hear that.
It's like, especially with friends. I mean, I've never had a friend commit suicide, so I don't even
Yeah.
know what it feels like. So that sucks.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry to hear that, but prayers out to the families, and
Appreciate
hope
it.
nobody, none of that. Everybody's well.
Yeah.
You don't have to go through any of that.
Appreciate it.
But goals sound that those are the goals this year is do that. That's
Yep.
dope.
I decided this year that goals weren't going to be, how would I say it? Like, my goals this year are not based off of results. My goals this year, I decided, are based off of work ethic. So instead of dropping 10 songs and trying to promote them all till they have 100,000 streams each or whatever, it's like I'm dropping 1 video a month, 4 songs a month, this. And all I'm doing is what I said I'm going to do. I don't care how any of it performs. You know what I'm saying? And not in a way of like, I don't care. It's just like, that's not the main focus of results. I feel like if I put out 50 songs this year, one of them is going to blow up. And as an artist, all you need is one song to blow up, and you're getting booked for shows for $10,000 the next week. And they will go all year long.
White Iverson.
White Iverson.
Yeah, White Iverson is just a perfect example of that. Just
Yeah.
literally put it out overnight, blows up, and then for him, the rest is just history.
Yep.
Like artists really just need that one song.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
For sure.
Little quick rapid fire questions for you that I have.
All right.
One you already answered. I feel like you already answered two, but one you already answered early in the podcast. Favorite rapper of all time?
Oh my gosh, bruh. They're on the total opposite spectrums, but it would have to be J. Cole
Really?
and Skizzy Mars.
Well, that's the answer I thought you were gonna go with.
So fun fact, my dog is named Skizzy.
Really?
Yeah, that's how much I love Skizzy Mars, bruh.
Oh, yeah.
My
that's
favorite
fire.
is J. Cole.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rapper you dislike?
Oh, that I dislike? I don't know if there's a certain person. There's a lot, actually. So it's like, as a whole, I don't like rappers that promote things that I see as like a pollutant, or what's the word? Like a, you know what I'm
Pollutant,
saying?
yeah.
Pollutant. Like,
That's
anyone that like pollutes the listener, in my eyes, is not someone that I enjoy.
that's I don't know if you saw, but I don't know if y'all saw it either, but YoungBoy just did an interview,
Bro.
and that's
Something
like
I never thought I'd see in my life.
literally
Yeah,
what
literally.
he just
And it makes
talked
me
about.
so happy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
to
we
see
just
that,
talked about it.
'cause you would never think-
I'm not making like I think is what he said. I'm literally polluting like the music I'm
Like
putting out.
glorifying
And
violence.
see, I've said that for years, and I'm also a huge NBA YoungBoy fan. So like, I'm not
Really?
being fully or maybe I'm being somewhat hypocritical when I say that, because I love a lot of their songs and their music, right? Like NBA YoungBoy, right?
No.
And Trippie Redd, like I love Trippie Redd, right?
Facts.
Like, I love a lot of artists that do put out songs that could pollute the youth, right?
Yeah.
So I'm guilty of falling into that trap and listening to those songs and loving them. But it's like, at the same time, I'm like, I wish that they would put out things that didn't make people so like depressed almost.
Yeah.
Rapper that grew on you the most.
Rapper that grew on me the most. Oh gosh, let me think. Rapper that grew on me the most, probably. That's a hard question, bro. I would have to think too long. Someone that grew on me. probably. Okay, this is random, right? This might not even be a rapper, but someone that's grown on me, and it's taken all of these years until like today to grow on me is Pitbull.
Whoa.
That's a valid answer.
I knew y'all were gonna say that.
That's a valid answer. honestly.
Pitbull, right?
Mr. Worldwide.
Pitbull,
Yeah.
Mr. Worldwide, right? And this is all because of my girl, right? Like she's a huge Pitbull fan.
Okay.
And we've always been in the clubs and raged
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
all of Pitbull's
yeah.
songs. But I've never thought about him. You know what I'm saying? Like I've never thought about who's this guy that
Yeah.
makes all these club bangers. I just
Bangers.
listen to him and that's it. I'd never play him in my own car.
Yeah, that's
But
fair.
everywhere else I hear him. And like this year, I'm getting way more in depth with the making of music and sonics and all these different sounds and how people do stuff. And now I sit there and listen to Pitbull and I'm like, bro, how does he come up with the stuff that he comes up with, bro? I have no idea. But you listen to a Pitbull
good
song,
answer.
Yeah,
and
they
I'm
do-
not gonna lie,
they
you
do
think
sound
about
good.
the stuff
Yeah.
that's going on. If you listen from start to end, it's like, bro, he did so much stuff in that song that it's like this gigantic experience, like packed into this 3 minutes.
I bet a Pitbull concert would be crazy.
Bro, I'm
not gonna lie to you.
But like never liked him till this year.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
It's like,
crazy.
I don't know.
Most overrated rapper.
Oh, most overrated? Oh, jeez. Who did Mike say?
Who did he say? I think he said
He said
The Weeknd.
He did say
he said The Weeknd.
The Weeknd?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, he's not overrated. I don't think.
I don't think so.
I think he's.
I think, but
You do? Yeah. He's pretty incredible, but it's all good. Overrated. Who's overrated? Probably Lil Pump.
that's a given.
I don't know how he's still relevant.
Is he though? I feel like he's not though.
He's somewhat relevant.
I would say like Blueface is like, I guess.
I mean, he's not relevant either. Like not for music.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like they have like like they're one hit wonders, but
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
But I say that, and also at the same time, I give Lil Pump a lot of credit because not many artists can have a hit as big as Gucci Gang and not be gone in 6 months. And to me, Lil Pump, at least for 4 years, made it, dropping a couple songs a year and just kept the wave. Like
yeah, he kept it going for as long as I feel like someone
long
of his
time.
skill could.
a long
Yeah.
time. So props to Lil Pump. He got on and he found a way to just stay on.
Stay relevant.
Side note, I feel like Cardi B is overrated, but like that's another topic. But that's like I
Yeah.
just thought of that.
I think what helped Lil Pump was a J. Cole interview.
Yeah,
I think that helped
for
him a
sure.
lot. Most underrated rapper.
Oh gosh, most underrated. Underrated. Shit, I'm trying not to say Skizzy Mars for all these answers. Underrated, probably. Oh, I got the perfect one, and I don't know if y'all know of him, but his name is Preem.
Yeah, he's good,
Bro.
He's been on some songs with Skizzy Mars,
Underrated,
too.
bro, and he changed my life too.
Yeah,
There's a
he's pretty
song
good.
called "Ill Life 4" or something
Yeah.
like that. Bro, Preem is like phenomenal.
Yeah, he's
And
he's
he
pretty
just,
good.
but he chose the route. I don't know, but I think he chose the route of playing the background role
Yeah,
because
I always see him
after
on
he-
features
after
and
he
shit.
got big, I noticed, boom, he's hanging with Drake, and I'm like, oh wow, maybe he's about to get a Drake feature. Never came out with a Drake feature, and then now I see Drake at awards and all these big things, and his homies are behind him, all in tuxedos and chains and shit. And every time, Preem is with him. So I'm like, maybe Preem found a way to just
Stay in the
help
background,
Drake
yeah.
with whatever it was that he
Yeah.
needed. And this is all like speculative.
Hypothetical,
I don't know.
yeah.
But from what I see, he was a fire ass rapper.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden he toned it down and he's with Drake all the time.
I feel like
So I'm like,
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe like Drake's getting older. Maybe Drake's like priming him to like put
Maybe.
him on type shit. I don't know. You never know.
I
That's
don't
like
know
a good
either. But
assessment.
Preem is
though.
definitely underrated.
Okay.
Mike said Lou.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Lou hadn't been like on the scene long enough, I feel like, to
Yeah.
be considered underrated.
Underrated. Yeah. No
He's
doubt.
just undiscovered.
Undiscovered.
Yeah,
It's
I
kind
like
of how I
that.
see it.
Yeah.
Last but not least, who is your GOAT rapper?
My GOAT rapper. Oh my gosh. It's probably between. Oh my gosh. It's hard because, like, I'm not saying this is my favorite rapper. It's just like, I think someone that's a GOAT right now, maybe, is probably Lil Baby. I feel like Lil Baby is stupid hard. So that's probably, I think, who's the best right now. GOAT, I guess, though, means greatest of all time. So it's like, shit. J. Cole. I think no one can match J. Cole on his storytelling, and like the song sounds so good that it sounds like any other, like not like any other song, but like it gives you a good vibe like any other song, but like as you're listening to it and enjoying it, you're also being painted a picture that's so vivid that, like, for some reason when I listen to J. Cole, everything he's saying, I'm like playing the movie in my head of everything he's saying. You know what I'm saying? Like, really paints a picture. So I think he's the GOAT.
Yep, that's my GOAT.
Yep.
Before we hit this off, anything for us? Any shout outs you want to give?
Shout outs. I think I shouted out like my 3 or 4 people already. My best friend C-Mac, shout out to Finesse Clothing. He's like a super genius that's like trying to figure out how to like bring everything together right now with his art and his clothing. So I'm anxious to see how this year goes for him. Shout out to C-Mac. Shout out to just the team, my parents. Shout out to God, because I don't know, if I didn't have you in my heart, I don't know how I would keep going. And I don't know, bro. He's just saved me. So, like, I shout out to God. And then, yeah, shout out to everyone that is trying to do their thing. Life is hard. Being a creative is hard. So if you keep going, the only way you can lose is if you stop.
Yep.
That's how I see it. So,
Yeah.
yep. And shout out to y'all. Thank y'all.
Appreciate
thank you for
bro.
pulling up.
For real.
Like I
Pulling
said,
up on us for real.
Hey, you didn't have to do it. It was 11 o'clock at night. You said to go pull up. You didn't have to do that, and you did. That's more than what I can ask for. I appreciate that a lot.
Appreciate that.
Yeah,
bro.
Means a
Of course,
lot
bro.
for real.
Yeah.
You got people sleeping on the couch over here with their phone in their hand.
Yeah.
But again, thank you.
Yeah.
Like I said, taking time out your day and doing
Hell
this.
yeah.
I mean, it means a lot. Like we're talking off camera. This was supposed to happen a long time ago. It's supposed to happen when we were supposed to do it with your mask. Then the timing with that didn't work out. And then he told him, it was like, hey, I'm about to like stop being anonymous. So let's do a podcast. Like, y'all be my first podcast. Can you help him, please?
That's all. That's
Oh,
fine.
there we go.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine for now.
We're supposed to be doing the podcast right when you unveiled like who you were, and then the timing of that didn't happen. But everything happens for a reason, and I've been grateful. You, like I said, you weren't the only one that we're supposed to get on way sooner than what we did. But I'm glad the timing that we got the people on is the time that we got them on.
Yeah,
I mean, I felt like it was just meant to be, and I'm glad that we didn't get them on then when we did. But again, I appreciate you for
Of course, bro. Of
Oh,
course.
yeah, bro.
Anything I can do to help, like in the future too, or whatever.
of course.
Yeah, no doubt. It won't be
Come
the.
on anytime, bro.
Yeah.
It won't be the first. It won't be the last.
Figure
Hell
some
yeah.
other shit out.
We got some cool stuff coming up too, like the inside the art shit like that, just to keep telling storytelling and keep the content going. So
For sure, bro.
yeah,
I'll get involved with whatever.
Socials they can find you at,
I'm different.
and that's gonna be on Spotify and Apple as well. Alrighty, y'all heard him. I'm different. Go run up his numbers. Go give him a listen. Look forward to his new song.
We're recording still.
yeah.
Yeah,
You're good though. You're
I
good
could
though.
have swore you said we're talking off camera here.
No, I just say you're good because the mic was like actually.
Oh my
stationary.
God! All right, ask me about the socials again. Were y'all wondering why I put the mic in the
Yeah,
air?
I was wondering.
I was
He did.
leaning forward. And shit. Bro, I'm not gonna say we're talking off camera.
Nah.
All right, shit. Podcast is still going.
Where can everybody find you at?
You can find me on Instagram at I'm Difference, and it's just the letter I, the letter M, Difference. I'm Difference, and everywhere else it's just Difference. So if you go to Spotify, Apple Music, anything like that, just type in Difference, and you should find me. It's a lime green cover photo, so keep your eye
Won't be
out
hard
for
to
that.
miss.
Yeah, and then you got a YouTube too. I've seen that.
Yeah. I got a YouTube. YouTube is Difference Official. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, Difference Official. If you want to go watch my stuff on YouTube, so.
We'll plug everything down low. They'll have it all on the screen, all the hoot and hollering.
Yep.
But y'all are to find him. Y'all go run up his numbers, run up his views, all that good stuff. He's family. Show him some love. But that'll do it from your boys over here at Opinionated. We'll catch y'all guys next time. Peace.
Peace.